I was just in a literal T-bone collision that sent me flying, and both drivers involved were so nonchalant. I've never seen anything like that. Like, what do you mean? Does this happen on the daily? This is probably the craziest city I've been in so far in India, but I love it, I can't lie. I've been riding in these all over Asia, but this is my first one in India, and it's a different experience. Cracked windshield, but we're still going strong. I'm experiencing the smells, the sounds, and the beautiful people of Madurai all from the back of this crazy vehicle. Shout out my driver for getting me to the temple in one piece. Hopefully. We are swerving a lot. They got motion for real. I'm getting an orange coconut. They have 100 different paneer dishes here.
My wife make a very soft idli.
My brain, you ain't slick. Let me just say, I know I owe you a recap. I know. Last time you saw me, I was in Thailand, but I've actually been in India for the past almost 3 weeks now. I was in Bangalore for a week, just kind of getting my bearings, adjusting to the new country. Then I was at the Isha Foundation, which was so crazy. The Isha Yoga School started by Sadhguru. They invited me to a content creators retreat where I basically just got to experience everything that the spot had to offer in exchange for posting one reel on Instagram. Unsurprisingly, I loved it so much that I stayed for like an entire week. And I started Sadhguru's flagship course, which is called Inner Engineering. Basically just his perspective on yoga, which is so different than most other teachers in India or in America. And now I'm in a city in Tamil Nadu called Madurai. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Just been chilling and watercoloring. I did these 2 drawings today. And preparing myself because tomorrow I'm going to the north. Not just anywhere in the north. I'm going to the Mahakumbh Mela, which is quite literally the largest gathering in human history. The footfall has already exceeded the population of the US and Canada combined. But it's my birthday this weekend, and I'm trying to celebrate right by taking a dip in the Ganga River. Actually, the convergence of 3 very holy rivers. I still have to understand exactly what the significance of the Mahakumbh is, but whatever it really is, it sounds like a party I can't miss. I have to also mention that everyone in India has been so nice. Everyone is so hospitable and friendly. It definitely helps that they speak English too, but people are like asking me where I'm from, asking me what I'm interested in, asking me what brought me to India. And I'm gonna be honest, I heard a lot of stuff about India. I heard like, oh, be careful of scammers, be careful of food poisoning, you gotta watch your health. But honestly, like, it was a little excessive because of course I have to be vigilant and not be stupid, but like everyone here is so nice, and I kind of came in with my guard up. I was expecting everyone to kind of like try to come for me, but it's completely the opposite. That being said though, this city that I'm currently in, Madurai, is like the craziest city that I've been in so far. Every rickshaw that I've been in got cracked glass on the windshield. I don't know if it's a coincidence. There are cows everywhere, which is amazing. There's a lot of dust on the streets, which I have to get used to and like put on a mask, but like there are no foreigners here, like no tourists. And so obviously the culture shock is greater here than in a place like Thailand where there's more tourist infrastructure, or even in a place like Bangalore where it's a bit more of a global place, but I'm keeping my heart open. One thing that I am dealing with, to be honest with you, is that I do feel like a lot of people are so surprised by the way that I look. Maybe they don't see a lot of Caucasian Ashkenazi Jews from New York. There's this pattern where the locals treat me more like a spectacle than like a human being. Like they want to take a selfie with me and they just honestly like follow me around. And I get it, I totally understand. And I want to be clear that for every one person that does that, there are 100 people who are like super nice and friendly. But it's just a dynamic where I don't feel completely safe that I'm figuring out how to navigate. But hey, I came here to a foreign land, so I can't be upset at how anybody acts towards me just because of cultural relativism. But so far so good, we're safe, no food poisoning. Oh, and another thing, I've been convinced for the first time in my life to entertain the possibility of not eating meat. Thanks to Isha, thanks to Sadhguru, and thanks to the amazing food. I feel like this is the easiest place in the world to be a vegetarian because it's deeply ingrained in the culture, and the vegetarian food is very creative. So yeah, I haven't had meat in about 3 weeks, which is maybe the longest I've ever done that in my life. And I don't miss it, and honestly, like I have no desire for it. So it's a good chance this is gonna stick when I go back to America. So my plan for today is to film a bunch of reels. I wanna do some yoga education content so that I can schedule it. I usually film in a batch so that if I'm having like a week where I want to be present and enjoy the travels, I don't have to be filming yoga videos all the time. So today I'm gonna film hella videos, edit them, schedule them so that when I'm in the north for my birthday, I don't have to be thinking about all that. Time for me to start week 4 of The Artist's Way. Still going strong every single day, but doing my morning pages, and it's been incredible. Today in my morning pages, I was writing about this internal battle that I've been feeling where I do feel like my attachment to certain material things, like loving the feeling of my yoga content reaching a lot of people on Instagram, or loving the feeling of even like eating a delicious meal. Is that standing in the way of my spiritual growth? Because I do have a lot of attachments, I do have a lot of desires on this physical realm. And the question I'm asking myself is, can that desire coexist with a detachment from materiality, with an emergence into the metaphysical? I don't know. But yeah, the morning pages have been incredible. And I recommend The Artist's Way to everyone. I feel like I say that every video. It's not a sponsor, I don't even have an affiliate link, but that book is gonna change your life. The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. So let's get to it. I just stumbled upon a bunch of kids practicing a traditional martial art. Let's see if they'll show us their motion. The talent is insane. So incredible. They got motion for real. I would have hit myself in the face by now. It's hella dusty out here on these roads, so I got my mask on, but look at this. I'm getting an orange coconut. They have these all over South India, but I've never seen them before. That orange coconut was so sweet and soft, and the lady who served it to me was such a sweetie. Also, I'm finally on an actual paved road. No hate to the dirt roads, but it was so dusty, it was getting to me. My throat was very sore yesterday from all the dust. Now I'm walking to a quick little lunch spot for my first meal of the day, staying on my pure veg streak, 3 weeks strong. So I made it to a restaurant that specializes in paneer. Paneer is like an Indian sort of dairy product, and I love paneer. Usually I'm very lactose intolerant, but paneer seems to be okay for me. Anyway, they have 100 different paneer dishes here. I'm looking at my lens and it's so dusty right now from walking around on those streets. I just gotta say, like, I feel so lucky to be able to walk around the city and experience it, because I started my trip in Bangalore, and Bangalore is like a huge tech metropolis, and I was like, oh, like this is like Bangkok or like Tokyo or like New York. Like, this isn't really the India that I heard so much about. This city, it's clear that there's way less industry here. It's clear that the families here don't have tech jobs. And I just feel so lucky that I was able to come from New York to a place like this to see that there are places in the world that are so different than where I come from. Even if it's out of my comfort zone, even if it takes some time to really understand it, it's a blessing to be able to experience it and expand my comfort zone. I mean, as I was walking down the streets, I was just thinking about New York and how people in New York don't realize how privileged they are. I think on the opposite side of that coin, also a lot of people in India don't realize how lucky they are. The grass is always greener, and I just feel lucky to have seen both. Anyway, I ordered some jackfruit, I ordered some paneer curry, and a little Indian bread. Bon appetit. I was walking around the city all day and I just got back to my beautiful abode. I was talking to my homie Raja, who's back in Bali. Also tonight, I plan on starting week number 4 of The Artist's Way. And every week we're focusing on a different little facet of how to strengthen our creativity. This past week, week 3, was building a sense of power. We talked about how to harness anger, which is a bit of a taboo in our society. People think anger is like shameful, I think. But anger can be very powerful, and anger, especially when it's transmuted, can become something beautiful. This week we're talking about recovering a sense of identity. And I don't really know what that means yet, but I'll let you know after I read the chapter. Yo, also Dochi, one of my favorite artists, she has a bunch of YouTube videos where she went through The Artist's Way, and I've been watching them and learning from them. So it's so good to have her as a companion through this process. And if I ever meet her one day, I'm gonna tell her like, yo, you helped me so much with The Artist's Way. Because to see someone else's experience with it totally validates your own experience, makes you feel like you're not weird or crazy or like not like everyone else on this planet. Like, I do believe we have way fewer individual experiences than we actually might believe we do. And she has helped me remember that. So last night I ended up working for like hours and hours and hours, but it felt so good to schedule so many yoga videos that I felt confident in. I did a guided meditation, I did 2 long form YouTube videos, and I did some newsletters. I also announced in-person yoga classes. If you're watching this and you didn't know about it, I'm coming to England this summer to teach for a week straight at a camping wellness festival. It's gonna be awesome. So I was working late into the night last night, and by late I mean 10 p.m. because that's past my bedtime. And then I woke up this morning, I talked to my parents, I did some inner engineering with Sadhguru. Now I'm packing my bag. And it's always a bit of a mess packing my bag, but it's also a reminder that all material possessions are temporary and essentially they're not me. I end up letting go of a lot of stuff, parting with a lot of goods, saying farewell to lots of little trinkets and knickknacks, because at the end of the day, I have to carry all of it on my back. This bag has no wheels, y'all. And so I have to ask myself what everything really means to me. And if I wouldn't die parting with it, I usually part with it. It's a great excuse to give gifts and practice detaching from material goods. So in 30 minutes, I'm getting picked up and driven to the airport by my host family, which is so generous of them. This airline that I've been flying in India, they got a 15 kg limit on their checked bags, and usually my thing goes 20. That means my carry-on backpack is gonna be stuffed to the brim, 9 months pregnant. One of these days now, I'm gonna do a what's in my bag, and it's gonna be extensive, because it goes on and on and on. But for now, you can just catch this glimpse. Oh, do you like the vision board that I put on the cover of my Artist's Way morning pages? Let me see, what else can I take out of my duffel bag and stuff into my backpack? Let me see. All of this business. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love a good travel day. I love a good flight because it gives me a reason to just incubate and be neutral as I transition from one place to another. I think the most godly way to get around is just to walk because you actually can consciously feel the land that you're traversing. In a plane, it's harder to feel that, much like an elevator. So I found myself compensating for that through meditation. Oh no, where's my pencil? Ah, found it. I love the feeling of being just about packed. Part of the privilege of backpacking and having such minimal possessions is that I can say with confidence that I love everything I have on me right now. Like these headphones are awesome, this watercolor set saved my life, and every item of clothing I got makes me feel drippy and confident. Will it close though is always the question. Please, please close. My dog, please close. I don't know what I'm gonna do if you don't close. It's looking good, y'all, it's looking good. Got my backpack closed. Oops. Yesterday, somebody whacked out my mural. I love vlogging. I think for a while I felt a little bit stressed out that vlogging was like taking me out of the present moment. And I went through this phase at the beginning of vlogging where I was like, oh, my life has to be interesting. I have to make cool stuff happen so that my vlogs will be worth watching. But I'm not really seeing it that way anymore. I'm honestly seeing the process of vlogging more as like, wherever I go, I always got an imaginary friend with me because I'm literally talking to a camera right now. The one good thing about stuff in my backpack is that this duffel bag is very easy to close, which it usually isn't, honestly. Okay, that's closed. Let's put these straps on. Oh, I'm so thankful for the city of Madurai for this beautiful homestay. I feel like so held here. I feel like my host family has made this experience so much easier and I'm gonna miss them. In like 4 days, I'm coming back here to my homie Dolly Krishna's house. I met her at the Isha yoga school. She was a volunteer there and she offered to host me. And Indian hospitality is still something I'm getting used to because I'm not used to it back in America. But I'm so excited to see what I do with her family. I know they're gonna be the cutest little angels. All right, I'm all packed up. Let's go to the airport. My two biggest homies, the duffel and the backpack. One question, what is your favorite part about living in India?
The tradition is good here. And we like tradition. Like we are born with the traditional living, and like that's a great part here.
The tradition is alive.
Yeah.
So you were a Christian,
Yeah, I'm
a Roman
Christian.
Catholic.
Roman Catholic.
You look at the Roman Empire, that culture is very much dead, but the ancient Indian culture is still alive.
Yeah.
Still very much
Still-
alive. Why do you think that although the Western ancient cultures have died out, the Indian ancient culture is still alive? I don't know what the answer is, but I think whatever it is, it's the same reason why Christianity was built on conquests and spreading to the whole world, whereas Hinduism never wanted to leave India.
Hindus, they'll be in India only.
Yes, yes.
They'll be in India, but Christian, like they spread all over the world.
Yes.
And they used to
It's very interesting. What is your favorite South Indian food?
idli
Idli is so good.
with like kara chutney. You'll be like
Oh my god.
spicy.
It tastes like, you know when you come home from a long day at work and you put your head on the pillow at night? That pillow is what idli tastes like.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yes.
And my wife make a very soft idli.
Ooh, amazing.
She makes a very delicious.
I love a hot steaming idli. You know, since being in India, since being at Isha, I was convinced to go vegetarian. You eat non-veg?
Yeah, I hate non-veg.
Yeah. Because also I think it has to do with faith. Of course, if you are Jain, you will not eat meat. Yeah. But if you are Jain, you will also not eat onions or garlic or potatoes.
They'll never take even garlic, potato.
The reason is very interesting. I recently learned about the reason. Did you know the reason why they don't eat the roots? Because it's very important for the earth process and they don't want to
Okay.
interrupt the health of the soil.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing.
Yes. The yogis have a very different reason for not eating garlic because they believe that garlic has negative prana.
Oh.
They say that it makes you less energetic. A Sacred Heart Church, wow. There's clearly a big population of Christians in this city. It's amazing. You ever worship here?
Yeah, we have been here.
Beautiful.
But we used to go to church very close to my house. Every Sunday we go by 8:30 mass.
If you had to travel anywhere in the world, where would you like to go?
US actually.
Really, US?
But like my wife used to say like you used to visit at least once US
Yeah.
in a lifetime.
You know, there's this global opinion that the U.S. is like heaven. You know, it's yes and no, yes and no. There's lots of opportunity in the U.S. It's a very wealthy country, but we have lots of gun violence in the U.S.
Okay.
We have lots of bigotry in the U.S.
Okay.
Lots of racism in the U.S.
Oh.
Well, you know what's so horrible? The worst part of it all to me is that many people in America and the Western world, they think, oh, don't travel to India. India is dangerous. India is dirty. You will get sick. You will get scammed.
Not like that.
Oh my God! Everyone is an angel.
India's a good place.
Everyone is so one. This is better than America, in my opinion. I've been to both.
Okay.
Maybe I'm biased because I'm from America, but India is better than America.
Oh, great.
The culture is so kind. I get the feeling when I speak to people in India that everyone is very sharp-minded. I can always trust people here, to be honest.
That's true. When I'm planning to get married, Like
Do I have plans to get married?
3-4 years later?
Yes. Maybe not 3-4 years later, but at some point in my life, I would love a family. I would love a wife and children.
Okay.
I made it to the airport. I just had a delicious paneer dosa, and I read the chapter for week 4 of The Artist's Way. For this week, the author Julia Cameron suggested something called media deprivation, which is actually something that I really need right now. Essentially, it just means stop reading, stop watching stuff to make room for your own thoughts. A lot of the time, we drown out our thoughts by just watching everything, by consuming content, because we're scared of what will come up if we let our subconscious come to the surface. That kind of escapism is really the oldest trick in the book, but my brain, you ain't slick. I ain't letting the thoughts slide this week. I want to look at them. So I'm like, damn, did I just make a commitment to stop scrolling, stop watching YouTube, stop reading my book? She said listening to music is cool, so at least there's that. But that's a scary proposition. It's like, who am I without constant media consumption? And I don't think it's a unique experience. I think we all kind of deal with this. But I'll definitely keep you updated on how that journey goes. But that was my chill little weekend in Madurai, South India. I hope y'all enjoyed. I know I was mostly just chilling and yapping. I learn something new about myself and the world every day that I'm in this country. If you enjoy watching me travel the world and talk about yoga and all this other stuff, feel free to subscribe to this channel because I post several times a week. I got a whole lot of travel videos, a whole lot of yoga lessons, guided meditations, and even some music. I love you very much and I hope to see you back here again. You're an angel. Also, it would mean a lot if you sent this to somebody you loved who might appreciate it. I'll see you next time.